And now on to the second segment. It is on the imperative for national unity and cohesion. We'll sustain that discussion after this special backgrounder by Kemi Fakaye.
Section 2, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended says, Nigeria is one indivisible and indissoluble sovereign state to be known as the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This was the vision of the founding fathers of the nation Nigeria, with the firm belief that the socio-political entity in the amalgam of one Nigeria would successfully thrive and develop into a giant economy in the global economy. The transition of Nigeria from unitary to its present structure of 3 tiers of government has come a long way over the years, overcoming all the vagaries and exigencies of government with the unflinching desire to continue as an indivisible political entity. However, agitations in recent time put to question the issue of the operations of the 3-tier system of government as a federal structure.
Restructuring is good because environment is dynamic, people are dynamic, circumstances are changing. But that can only be good where it serves the purpose of our common good for national unity.
I think our nation should stay together. We have great, and I repeat, very, very great advantage having a great country like this in terms of population, in terms of human resources, in terms of mineral resources.
Federalism is being brought under close examination for its viability or otherwise for the nation to attain national goals and aspirations.
Restructuring means equity. Restructuring means unity. The restructuring that I dream of is a restructured system where an Abdullahi that is born in Aba, my hometown, becomes an indigene of that state.
Against the backdrop of the current agitations, there are other social issues like hate speech and corruption identified as the bane of the country's development.
So politicians should take the games easy and stop politics of desperation, politics of hate, all these hate speeches. Hate speeches leads to the crime against humanity. It leads to genocide, leads to war.
Observers are of the views that the present administration is handling the waves and tides in the challenges of governance very well, as the issue of the unity of the nation remains paramount as enshrined in the Constitution. Kemi Fakaye, NTA News.
The backgrounder there by Kemi Fakaye sets the tone for the second segment of Tuesday Live Tonight, which is the imperative for national unity and cohesion. I also have a full house tonight. To sustain that, I have Ibrahim Modibo. Ibrahim Modibo is former National Director, Publicity, ANPP, journalist, former Assistant Editor, Newswatch, and currently Chairman Board of Editors, Verbatim Magazine. Thanks for joining me on Tuesday Live.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Chief Charles Ihe, Supervisory Councillor, Special Duties and Investments, AMAC Investment and Property Company. Thanks for joining us on.
Thank you.
Atena Shusokun, Analyst, Public Commentator and Coordinator, Buhari Friends Organization. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday Live.
Thank you so very much.
And all the way from Sokoto, joining us is the Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu. It's a pleasure to have you join us on Tuesday Live.
Thank you very much.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it's in the public domain that agitations everywhere, restructure, marginalization, bickerings, balkanize. But ultimately, our founding fathers were aware of this, but they sustain one thing, that Nigeria remains indivisible, Nigeria remains indissoluble. Now, what are the implications for our national unity?
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity to discuss this issue of great importance. The issue of national unity is one area that cannot be compromised. I think Nigeria has come to stay. We've had crisis before, and that crisis should have been a lesson for us, irrespective of where we come from, our religious backgrounds, our tribal leanings, and ethnicity. Looking at Nigeria the way it is today, you'll agree with me that God has never made a mistake in bringing us together. The more, the merrier. That is why today, in sub-Saharan Africa, west of Zambezi, south of Limpopo, there is no country that God has blessed magnanimously like Nigeria. The potentials that we have in this country is so magnanimous that almost every country in this world is looking at Nigeria with envy. Because one, we don't have natural disasters like hurricane, we don't have volcanoes, we don't have it, but we have the fertile land and we have every available resources that any nation could harness, tap, and also make a country very great. That's why today, when we look at, I tend to look at the book of Chinua Achebe in his Problem of Nigeria. He said Nigeria is a country that God has wonderfully blessed, where victory is being snatched from the jaws. I mean, defeat is being snatched from the jaws of victory. We are a country God has blessed magnanimously. Instead of us to sit down, understand ourselves, and look at the country from the viewpoint of development as the largest single black nation in the world, people are calling for suppression and all these hate speeches, who doesn't help the country. And I think I feel very sad. My heart bleeds when I see people talking of suppression, because I did my NYC, when I did my NYC in the Southeast, and honestly and sincerely, today, whenever I think of the Southeast, especially where I served, that was about over 32 years or 3 ago, I look at that place with nostalgia. It gives me a sense of belonging. I have a second home in that place. Up to today, I communicate with my people there. So you see, the beauty of harnessing together the potential of this country, bringing us together, and making Nigeria a great nation in this sub-Saharan Africa is one potential that God has blessed us, and we have to sustain it.
Okay. I like putting up this argument. We connect to disconnect, and we disconnect to connect. We fought the Civil War many years back, and the idol of that Civil War, late Odumegwu Ojukwu, one of the interviews he had before he died, he said, "I led the first one and I led it proudly. A second one is not necessary because lessons would have been learnt." So what lessons would you have learned from this?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And I'm glad for this invitation to discuss on national unity and integration. There is this statement that is credited to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where he said that those who are, beating the drums of war were those that were not born in 1967. There is another one that was credited to the Emir of Kano, where he said that those that were not born in 1967, some of them still want to fight their own war. And, you discover there are senses in these two. One is that for those who are agitating, the right people to discuss about Biafra, if there should be any, have not come out. These are younger ones, the younger generation, that we are not, many of them are illiterate anyway, because I am from the Southeast. But the problem we are having there is that the people that we are supposed to talk to them are not there for them. They are out of reach, they stay back in Abuja here, because everybody has a leader. And you discover that these boys, when you talk to them, they have sober reflections. In as much as I agree with them, yes, there is a right to, you have right to agitate, but not secession. So that you create an environment for dialogue. And at the same time, if you are having a toothache, it affects the whole part of the body. So as a leader, and a part of your body is having a stress, you need to attend to it so that it don't affect other parts of the body.
Okay. Well, we have differences. I'm happy at Shoes, you had an organization that crisscrossed the entire length and breadth of Nigeria, the entire 6 geopolitical zones. Even if somebody advocated that it should be 6 geo-economic zones. Now, when can we de-emphasize our differences and build more towards enhancing the indivisibility of Nigeria?
Oh, thank you so much. Let me sound political first. I really have to appreciate the fact that my party, the APC, came with the symbol of broom. I will always emphasize on that. The meaning of that broom is a bunch is far better than a stick. And I want to appreciate the founding fathers of APC. And that is what we have to let Nigerians know, what that stands for. Together we stand, together and do it. Divided we cannot. Yes, cohesion is much, much better for us. When you look at both resources of materials and human, in the course of my research, I got to know why Nigeria used to be called Giants of Africa. And it's something that people need to research about. What informed the name Giants of Africa? Like I said, the population that we command in comparative politics, your population matters a lot. Manpower is one aspect you cannot throw it away. The international politics. You become so susceptible and vulnerable to any aggressive country that want to finish you. But when you are strong, one of the indices of that strength is population. And that population cuts across different socio-political.
But when you have the population and you cannot use it to unify yourself.
No, I'm trying to tell you the imperative of taking from that advantage. Yes, the essence of taking the population to our credit. That united we stand, like I said earlier, divided we fall. The moment you see Nigerians outside here, the problem is within here, in Nigeria. Outside Nigeria, an outside man is your brother immediately. An Igbo man, when you meet, you see happiness, you see unity. That spirit of oneness is there outside. Why it is not here is because of politics, trivial politics, and sentiments that are baseless. And let me tell you something. I run a project like you said, and because of that I traversed 36 states. I've been able to witness the different political culture in Nigeria. And so far I can beat my chest to be a Nigerian. There is no place in Nigeria I went that I was not received well as a Nigerian. And therefore in Buhari Friends Organization, which we founded from 5 years back now, the emphasis was not the president himself alone. Cohesion, that spirit of oneness, that is why we started prayer summit immediately after this administration. What are we doing to complement government efforts? By praying.
Okay, let's take this call from Abubakar in Kano. Thereafter we'll go to Sokoto. Abubakar, hello Abubakar, you're welcome to Tuesday Live.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Hello. I have a question or comment on.
Could you please turn down the volume of your TV set and make your contribution?
I really appreciate the program. Right now I'm watching you live, but I wanted to comment on the issue of national debt. Yes, my contribution is good.
We don't seem to hear you. Can you be audible?
Aggression.
I'm afraid we may not contribute that call. Well, I'll come back to you at nations, but I think we should go to Sokoto now, where Osita Okechukwu, Director General, Voice of Nigeria, is joining us from. DG, let me take you from the perspective of utterances made by politicians, utterances made by religious leaders, utterances made by traditional rulers and every socio-ethnic groups in the country. Most of the utterances tend to abuse or are an affront to the indivisibility of Nigeria. How do we come out of this?
Thank you very much. Let me, in line with what you asked, to say that there are national consensus on many issues, one of which is that most Nigerians have been in Sokoto now for about one day, and I've interacted around the city. Most Nigerians want a one united country. Most Nigerians want a bigger nation that will rear its head and be one of the leading nations of the earth. Most Nigerians agree as well that there's hunger in the land. Most Nigerians agree as well that there's gross unemployment. I think the issue is that the elders and the common people on the ground, they believe in a one indivisible nation. Even the politicians you mentioned, they are not also different from that. What I understand is that some of them are complaining, both in the north and in the south, that we, the government of the APC, that we should be more even in the distribution of amenities, in the appointment of offices, that even in the north, especially members of the APC, some of them are complaining that they are not being consulted before appointments are made. And some of them are saying that it's not well rationed. So those complaints did not mean that anybody wants Nigeria to go. I remember vividly in 1983, I was in Sokoto as well for a political campaign. And I'm surprised today that the hotel where I'm staying was the hotel that was fresh then in 1983, the Guinea Hotel. And I cast myself back. I'm looking for more other investment that was done more than what was done in 1983. But then we were campaigning that the MPN government then should go, but they don't know what they are doing. They are very corrupt. But looking backwards, both in the east, both in the southwest, what have been done in that Second Republic, you start asking yourself whether those who are today agitating for either secession or restructuring, whether they are not weaving duplicity of statecraft. Duplicity in the sense that the government in place are tackling some of those other fault lines, like hunger, gross unemployment, that led even to the Boko Haram, led most youths in the Southeast thinking that it's only in the Southeast that they have a gross unemployment. It's a shared calamity that because of corruption, which the current regime is tackling, it has led for a squandered opportunity of trying to lead us to huge infrastructure deficits where the railway lines have collapsed. We're coming back to that. So I think Nigerians believe actually that in spite of the hardship, we're better off as a United Nation. We're better off. It had been exhibited in different forums. The other few days ago when we won Zambia, it was jubilation across the country. So the fact that there are agitations does not mean that the majority of the Nigerian consensus is not for one Nigeria. So let us not deceive ourselves. Let us join in trying to join President Muhammadu Buhari in trying to close the infrastructure huge deficit. Because the infrastructure is part of why we do not have employment. It is one part of why we're hungry. And if we get out of that, Nigeria will be a real progressive and prosperous country where everybody will be happy.
Still on you, there's this opinion that feel or suggest that maybe because there are some lapses at the state and local government levels, and so much attention has been shifted to the federal level, people have lost touch and lost confidence with the states and local government, and as such, there's so much agitations for them to do. What can be done to rejig this?
I thank you very much for what you are saying. A lot of people do not even ask their councillor. They don't ask account from their councillor. They don't ask account from their status of assembly or their governor. And most of the governors as well have not helped the democracy to grow. They are afraid to be accountable, most of them. And they have also have not conducted free and fair local council elections. Because if they were conducting free and fair local council elections, the Nigerian people could have seen that the money going back to the local council cannot be taken for granted. And also, don't forget that Nigerian people also pay taxes at that level. They do not take their taxes as very serious. So everybody is looking to the oil resource and oil revenue that is shared every month, as if it is the only revenue we are making. I've been to Ogoroyo Dam. I've seen what the individual farmers are doing there in Sokoto State. Most of them are not depending on that revenue, but actually they have relied a lot of confidence on themselves with the input they are getting from the state and the federal government in improving their farming methods, the seedlings, the tractors and co. They are, as far as they are concerned, they are not looking the way those who are idle, agitating are doing. So I think the state and the local council should join the federal government in trying to improve our agricultural holdings. If we do that, a lot of people will be very busy, and if they are busy, they will have more in their hands to eat, they have more in their hands to pay school fees, to attend to their children, because they say that a hungry man is an angry man. So I think the state and the local council should join the federal government in trying to revolutionize our agriculture, as President Muhammad Buhari had said. If you go to KB as well, I was in KB a few days ago, you'll be saying no more what you have seen there. You go back to the southern states as well, there's a lot of agricultural revolution going on. The traction, yes, cannot be noticed in a few years, but it is on record that we have a reduction of 30% in importation of rice, a staple food in Nigeria. If we had that under the 2.5 years of Muhammad Buhari regime, it then means in the next 5 years, Nigeria might close the gap and even start exporting rice. And if that happens, we have saved a lot of money, we have put a lot of people at job, and it is only when our people are busy, because they say that the idle man is a devil's workshop. So every concerted effort should be made. The little money we have in our coffers should be invested in different areas like agriculture and solid minerals, so that one day we should know that the oil is going. And if it's going, we cannot stand by and go into hunger and blame each other. The places I've visited in Nigeria, I've seen that the common people are interacting freely. They share even some. I saw a woman going around in Sokoto collecting money from people for investment. And she's not doing it on tribal lines. She's doing it according to the...
We'll come back to you. Let's hold you there. Back to the studio here. Now, within the democratic governance process, everything that is being done, you look at the what level, they call the political units, before we get to the what level, before we get to the local government level, before we get to the state level. And at the end of this, when these people are utilized maybe for elections, when they should start seeing the dividends, good thing the 1999 Constitution has been amended by the National Assembly, and we hope and believe that what is being canvassed with autonomy at the local government level will happen. Now, the people who are supposed to feel it are not feeling it. Don't you think this is part of the problem?
Yeah, thank you very much, you see.
Okay, let's take this call from Christopher from Lagos. Christopher, welcome to Tuesday Live.
Good evening.
Hello, Christopher.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, we're listening to you.
Okay, the topic is quite interesting, and my contribution to this discussion is the need for Nigeria from all strata, the political class to intellectual.
Wow. Well, there's a hall back there. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You see, having been the National Director of Publicity for ANPP for about 10 years, going transversing across the country with President Muhammad Buhari, then our candidate, 2003, 2007, and beyond, I found out that this is a man whose decision to join politics was born out of his patriotic desire to positively respond to our generational challenges. And what are they? When he came in, he had about 3 fundamental issues. 1, to tame insecurity, to improve the economy, and also to fight corruption. Having done this, or in the process of doing this, you find out that we've been able to achieve major landmarks so far in this country. What has been done before was monumental. There was this corruption, there was this governance without focus, without direction. Maybe people were just clamoring for political power without aggregating opinion as to what to do with power. They collect power, they are just at the crossroads not knowing what to do with power. Having done that, this president came with a sense of desire and sense of direction to improve the economy, fight corruption, place food on the tables of Nigerians. But unfortunately, he came and met a very, very devastating economy that could not allow him to sit down, focus, and also plan on how to execute some of his mandates. Now, if you look at the local government level and the state level, there hasn't been much that has been done in terms of employment opportunities, in terms of looking at the economy, in terms of even aggregating the youth, putting them together to make sure that they add value to national development. Now, the federal government cannot do it alone. Despite the fact that this man has been here, he came, met these challenges, and is ready to provide solutions, but yet...
Modibo, hold on. Let's take this call from Chilaka from Oshobo. Chilaka, you're on to Tuesday Live. Hello.
Okay, thank you, sir. What I want to contribute is this. Let me start from agriculture. Are you hearing me, sir?
Very well, go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Very well, go ahead.
Thank you. Let me start from agriculture. We are talking about agriculture everywhere. How do we encourage the farmers? Are you hearing me, sir?
Very well, just go ahead, we are listening.
We are talking of agriculture, we are talking of unemployment. Now, employment, there's no way...
Can you turn down the volume of your television set, please?
If we keep exporting our raw materials, without putting them into finished products,
Wow.
without creating employment, we cannot achieve anything. Now, the farmers, how do you encourage farmers? You encourage farmers by making sure that before they go to the farm, they've already sold their products. Government should design a system whereby whatever you produce, government will buy it from you. Let encourage the farmers. Now the young ones, how do you make the young ones to go to farm? If you don't make agriculture as attractive as oil station or the banking station, they can't go there. Are you telling me my father was a farmer, he cannot even pay school fees, he cannot feed the family? You still expect me to go to farm? It's not possible. Now coming to the unity of Nigeria, my brother, the way things are going, I am telling you, this is naked truth. We can never be one. If I'm in Oshobo as an Igbo man, I've lived here for 17 years. I cannot even contest for councillorship. I cannot contest for anything here. Then what makes us one? I go to the north, I cannot contest for any post there. What makes us one? So there's no fraternity. So let's stop deceiving ourselves. At 57, are we not old? If Nigeria is a human being, it's an old man, 57. Yet we are still forcing ourselves to stay together. There are a lot of things to be done. Let us tell ourselves to say the truth.
Thank you so much, Chilaka. Well, let me get to Ihe. I'll come back to you. Because the issues on ground now touches here directly. You are more or less, in Nigeria, we are talking about presidential system of government at the local government level. And you are supervisory councillor, special duties and investment, head of AMAC Investment and Property Company. What's the experience in AMAC? You guys are done with elections. How well are you plowing back the dividends to the people to have a feel of what AMAC is doing?
Thank you very much. AMAC as an area council is the #1 area council in Nigeria. And in AMAC, you will see all Nigerians present. And when you're talking about unity, I'm a symbol of unity because I'm an Igbo man.
Chilaka just said from Oshobo that it's not possible.
I'm an Igbo man from the southeast, and I'm occupying such position in Abuja Municipal Area Council. And presently today, the chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council is an indigenous of FCT, a Gwandara by tribe, having an Igbo man from Anambra State as the vice chairman. The secretary of the council is an Hausa man, and the speaker of the council is a Gwari man from the FCT. And in the supervisory councillors, you have all the 6 geopolitical zones represented. Now, what we're talking about here is who is involved. The chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council was somebody that have served in the area council. He knows the nook and crannies of the council. He was a former councillor, he was a former supervisory councillor, he was a former secretary of the council. So he knows the problem of the council. And he knows that by the status of the Abuja Municipal Area Council, you need to integrate every part of the country to give it that unifying nature.
Beyond integration, are the people in AMAC feeling the impact of the present AMAC administration in place?
Yes, we are. They
How?
have.
But this seems to be part of the problem.
Yes,
After elections,
when the administration came on board, the chairman of the council, Comrade A.A. Candido, brought in people from different sections of the society. He brought in people like me who are into business. He brought in the technocrats and built up his council. We were able to establish what they call AMAC marshals. It's a profit-oriented security outfit. Today they are on their own. Initially, we started by funding them, but today they are on their own.
But ultimately, what you're saying is that you are really involving the people. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, let's take this call from Mwachuku.
From Kaduna.
Mwachuku from Kaduna. Mwachuku, hello. You're on to Tuesday Live, NT Tuesday Live.
Thank you very much. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Morning.
I want to speak on national unity. I hope you are hearing me.
Go ahead, loud and clear. We are hearing you.
Okay. I want to speak on national unity. It is very, very important that Nigeria should remain together. It is the benefit of the present generation and future generation. At the same time, the entire black man on earth will be happy when we see a large black nation like Nigeria. But at the same time, there are challenges of being together. A situation whereby some people have some complaints. It is important that there should be an avenue for us to talk to ourselves so that unity can be guaranteed. My people say a proverb that you don't beat up a child and at the same time insist that the child will not cry. Allow the child to ventilate the pain. I know the soldier, using soldier and gun to solve every problem will not solve some of these problems. There are some of the problems that we need to talk to ourselves. Be you Igbo man, Hausa man, Yoruba man, Ishekri and Igala man, God has put us together.
Thank you very much. Well, I think we should do this. We don't have all the time. Thank you very much, Mwachuku. Let me go to Atanoshius. We are almost coasting home on this program now. Speak to Nigerians. Whether we talk restructuring, Bickering, we are all Nigerians. How best can we move forward?
Yes, let's go back to the concept, imperative of cohesion.
In a few words, we don't have all the
That's
time.
the imperative of cohesion, national unity. I want to look at international trade. I wish we have the time. Emphasis there is on comparative advantage. I wouldn't want to subscribe to the fact that God brought us together. No, it was God. Now look at Nigeria. I want to see the north with arable lands for food. What would that entail? Food security for us. And from the south side, we have oil. The man in the southwest is an economist. The Igbo man, I see him as a technically oriented person. If the north can produce food for food security, and you put all this together, going back to what I said earlier, comparative advantage, it will be another advantage. The essence of unity, you can't take it away. Because God, in his wisdom, make your place different from the other place. So how do you live? By cohesion. Tapping from what you couldn't have advantage. So in the north, like I said earlier, they are the food basket of this nation. You can't do without food, you will die. Am I right? Yeah. Then you have the technologies, and that I can give to the Igbos. Okay. They are sound very creative there, technically oriented.
I like your
then the southwest, sound economies to manage your economy, because you need people to manage no matter how much money you have if you don't have a good manager. So that's my understanding and the essence of unity. So you can't take it away.
Okay. Before we get back to Sokoto, Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. That was one of the lines in the old national anthem.
Yes.
How do you make of this if you are talking to Nigerians?
Thank you. I don't believe that Nigeria is a country that should be divided. The more I say, the merrier. Let us look at what is happening today in Rwanda, Central African Republic. Nigeria with its population today, God forbid, if there is any crisis, where do you run to? Which country will be able to accommodate the kind of population we have, the kind of resources we have, the kind of manpower we have? Most of these countries, we find a country with 1 million, 7 million, 10 million people. Nigeria, 150 million, where do we go to? So it is better to jojo than to war. Though tribes and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. I strongly believe that irrespective of all these challenges, there's no country in this world that is perfect. Every country, every nation has challenges facing the country or facing the nation. And therefore, the ability of us to tap our resources, both human and material resources, harness it together with the viewpoint of propelling the wheel of progress is what we have to channel our energies to. And in this circumstance, I want to commend President Muhammadu Buhari for being steadfast, for thinking and reasoning along the lines of reason, so that we harness and tap all the resources. As my brother Okon was saying, we have the food, the technologies, and the managers of the economy. When you put all this together, it gives you a very fantastic jollof rice of unity, cohesion, and purposeful leadership. Okay. I know Nigeria, God has blessed us abundantly. And God has never made a mistake, as I've rightly said, in putting us together because of our potentials, of our greatness. And I strongly believe that Nigeria today is being listened to in Committee of Nations because of our population, because of our intellect, because of our ability to remain together, to be purposeful, and then to be result-oriented. If we were to be in like these small countries, one day, somebody can just come and overrun us, okay, and then collect the oil, collect everybody, chase you away, and you're gone. Okay. So the more the merrier. Let us, as he said, the broom, when you put it together, you sweep. When you carry one broom or one stick or maybe one umbrella, can you sweep? You can't. Therefore, there is the need for us to act together, to reason together, and also move as a unified country for the general good of humanity and for the general good of Nigerians.
Okay, let's go back to Sokoto, where Sister Okechukwu is lending his thought on this conversation now. Now, the problem happens to be value mindset reorientation. For instance, there seems to be this problem of Nigerians, most Nigerians not being independent-minded towards the unity of Nigeria. If I'm a leader, I just speak to them and they just swiftly move to the next direction. What can we do to ensure that no matter what you tell an average Nigerian, that word, unity, remains sacrosanct?
Started by saying that the national consensus is that 80%, 90%, 98% want a united country. I want to address my brother from Oshobo, Chilaka. Why Chilaka cannot win an election in Oshobo is because of the law of proportion. In Lagos, where our brothers are large in number, today we have 2 members of the Federal House of Representatives from Lagos. They are in Abuja there, representing constituencies from Lagos. Those in Abuja, like here and Co, are there because of the law of proportion. Democracy is about population. If you are well concentrated in Oshobo, you can win an election. The Constitution of Nigeria did not say you cannot contest an election in Oshobo. As the president of Ohaneze had said, Chief John Nyawodo, that it's better for us to remain a bigger country that will have a say in international affairs, but that we need to be even in the distribution of amenities and appointments. But what some people do not even remember, because they mentioned that out of the 40 members of the NNPC board, that no Southeasterner is a member. But they don't know that when Mr. President comes from the Northwest, has only 1 member. And then Mr. President's zone, the Northwest, did not produce the Chief of Defense Staff, He did not produce the chief of army staff. He did not produce the chief of air staff. He did not produce the chief of naval staff. So it is not as if Mr. President had worked out of his way to discriminate anybody. Now, I think that the issue of appointment is temporary and transient. And Mr. President is listening to the country. There will be amendment on the appointment. Let's join him in trying to close the infrastructure which deficit. Because it's because of lack of infrastructure that we're hungry. That's why he's going around the world trying to borrow money. Since we don't have much money in our treasury, he's borrowing money for the growth and progress of the country. Because if you do not have electricity, there's little you can do. If you not have a good transportation system, there's little you can do. And I think Mr. President means well. You might say you want to restructure. Yes, it is important you restructure, but you are better restructured if you have this central infrastructure that only the Nigerian center can provide. Thank you very much.
Get back to you if we have all the time. We went to the streets, and I believe if that vox pop on the street about what Nigerians are saying towards a greater and stronger unity, if it is ready, we'll take it. But let me come back to the studio. Ihe, you are at the grassroots. How best can the people be mobilized to ensure that unity remains number one charge, no matter what you tell them?
Yeah, with the recent happenings, with the hate speeches going around the country, we as a council saw that if it is allowed to go on, there will be problem. And with the peculiar case of the area council, the chairman in his infinite wisdom inaugurated a peace committee. The members of this peace committee are drawn from the traditional rulers of different ethnic groups and some stakeholders. They were mobilized to go and preach peace. And before the 1st October quit notice by the Arewa youths, some of our people were trying to take their families home, because they were afraid that there would be crisis. But because of the committees that were reaching out to the people, to the grassroots, every traditional ruler has to go back to his community and call his people and talk to them. And they saw the need for unity. And many of them stayed back.
So the situation is calm now.
Yeah, today the system is calm.
Let's go to the streets. National unity. What should the government do so as to ensure Nigeria become one indivisible entity? Let's get that vox pop. I'm not hearing. Really? Wow.
So what the government needs to do now is to bring the various ethnic nationalities to a round table. We need to begin to discuss further on our coexistence. We need to iron out some of those things that have made us to stay together, and some of those things that have made us to begin to speak from both sides of our mouth. We need to discuss them. Some people are telling you that what they want to discuss is restructuring. Some people are telling us and are saying that there's no need for restructuring. So what I think the government needs to do is, it's no longer funny for the government to say that they are not going to do this. Nigeria is one indispensable nation. When the various ethnic nationalities that make up the component of this unit are saying that they want to talk, we need to do this, we need to do that. Some are asking for fiscal federalism, some are asking for regional independence, and so on. So it is high time we need to sit down and begin to talk. I believe that is the only way we can keep this nation either as one or keep it as various federating units. That is what I think the government should do.
Religion is not a problem, but the fundamental thing is we Nigerians ourselves, because we are trying to be holier than thou in Nigeria. Even the people that brought this religion, they brought it, when you go to their country, the way they practice their religion is not the way we are practicing it. We are doing as if we are even holier than people over there. When you go to Israel, people look at Israel as a Christian country. But even if we get to Israel, most Jews don't even believe in Christianity. They practice
Well, that was the reaction from Nigerians on the need for national unity. Well, we've been dwelling on the issue, imperative for national unity and cohesion, but time will not allow us to continue. Let me quickly say from Sokoto, Osita Okechukwu, Director General, Voice of Nigeria. It was nice having you share your thought with us on Tuesday Live tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate.
And the full house here, I've had Ibrahim Modibo, former National Director of Publicity, ANPP, journalist, former assistant editor, Newswatch, and currently chairman, board of editors, Vet Property Magazine. Thanks for being on Tuesday Live.
Thank you very much.
And Honorable Chief Charles Ihe, Supervisory Councillor, Special Duties and Investment, Head of AMAC Investment and Property Company. Thanks for being on Tuesday Live.
Welcome.
And Atanashi Sokon, Coordinator of Friends of Buhari, Analyst and Public Contributor.
Thank you for having me here.
That's a wrap on Tuesday Live. I believe we dwelt on very thorny issues that will talk about the continuous sustenance of unity in Nigeria. On behalf of all of us, thanks for watching.